Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I'm trying to be really quiet so I don't wake my dad. He's sleeping right now, but today is his 78th birthday, if you can believe it. I'm happy that he's still up and running and doing so well, and I'm hopeful that he's able to get shoulder surgery and surgery for his legs, because I think that'll help him quite a bit more, since he has arthritis and a deteriorating bone condition. But I'm not really here to talk about that. I'm more here to talk about Hoodwinked 2, which I was finally able to see on DVD, and I adored the first Hoodwinked. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I just absolutely love it. But this one was a huge disappointment, and half of the time I was just getting bored with it, and it was really cliched and predictable, and it didn't do it for me. And though I love different looks at fairy tales and just a twist on the typical story, this version of fairy tale lore just really did not meet my expectations. Now, the writing was snappy and quick and quirky, which was just like the original Hoodwinked, and I liked all the pop culture reference, which really made me giggle. But my favorite character from the first film, which was Jethro the goat, he annoyed the pee out of me in this film. I just couldn't stand him. I thought, ugh, Jethro, shut up. But he just wasn't even funny in this film. I wish they had the same voice actor that they did for the first movie, and they didn't. And it really irritated me to no end. And I just really wasn't all that impressed with it. I guess the animation was better, but it looked like the lip flap was a little bit off, and it just looked like a badly dubbed Japanese film. They could have done a little bit of a better job with that, but they didn't. The storyline really isn't that impressive, except for the Sisters of the Hood, which I really liked that story, and Granny's story I thought was interesting. We learned her real name is Abigail, and we learned the identity of the wicked witch who has kidnapped her and Hansel and Gretel. And actually, Hansel and Gretel are in a greater plot, but we see that later, and it's rather mediocre at best. I would at least give this movie 2 stars out of 4, because or 2.5, because it really isn't as bad as Batman vs. Dracula. I just didn't care for that at all. I think this is worse than Batman vs. Dracula. It just really didn't impress me all that much. Even my favorite characters didn't make me laugh too terribly much, and I just didn't care for it. So if you're a fan of the first one and have really loved it and are wanting to see this one, then I really wouldn't recommend watching it, because it's a disappointment. I thought maybe you'll think differently, but despite the fact that this had a stellar voice cast, it was really too much for me to take. There were times where I was just thinking, ugh, these lines are horrible. I mean, especially with some of the script that they gave to Hansel and Gretel. It was just lame, and I was extremely ticked off at it, and I just didn't care for it. It just didn't. I just wasn't very happy with it, so I'm afraid I had to give this a thumbs down, and I don't think it's even worth watching, and I don't think it should have even been greenlit, but maybe it should have been done a little bit better with some more intriguing writing, and something that is just has fewer slang references, and the culture references were good. I like that, and the witty humor from the original I enjoy, and I love the three pigs. I thought that the three pigs were probably some of the best characters they put in there, because they really cracked me up. And I liked Twitchy. Of course, Twitchy is a really terrific character. I just adore him, but I was just more annoyed at everything in this movie, and it just really I think it was the worst animated film this entire year. I really do. I just didn't really care for it. So that's basically all I have to say about Hoodwinked 2.